Hey there! Are you in a state where you need to submit your synopsis or research proposal in few days and you are completely clueless on what to write in it? If yes, this video is definitely for you. Stick around and I will be answering all your queries. Hi everyone, my name is Minakshi and I make videos on different law topics, legal news, updates, PhD, LL.M and everything around law. If you are interested in any of these areas, do consider subscribing to the channel. And let's begin with today's topic, what to write in a synopsis. Before jumping directly into the topic, let me tell you something. Around the same time last year, I was preparing for my PhD entrance examination. Because of COVID, lockdown, work from home situation, I was finding it really difficult to concentrate and focus on my studies. And just to get that little motivation, I started looking for videos on YouTube around this PhD topic. And to be frank, there were very little videos around this topic. Like I would find videos on day in life of a PhD student and all those kind of videos, but yes, I would definitely say there are very little videos that you get around that topic. Once I was done with my examination, I thought that I will make some videos around PhD topic as well. And when I posted those videos on YouTube, a lot of students WhatsApped me, they called me asking for guidance on how to prepare for PhD. Like if you have not yet decided which college you want to go for, but still you want to keep your synopsis or proposal ready, how should you proceed with that? Or if you are preparing your LL.M term paper or dissertation, what all things to write, what all things to take into consideration and all that. I do agree there are universities or institutions where you might not get like proper guidelines on how you should proceed with it, what should be written, what not. And this makes life of students extremely difficult because LL.M is just 1 year course. You already are overburdened with so many other things. On top of it, if you need to submit a dissertation or a term paper, and you have zero guidance or no such guidelines receiving from the university, it actually becomes very difficult for you to proceed. So in this video, I'm going to tell you about few points that you can mention in your PhD research proposal or in your LL.M dissertation, term paper, synopsis. Whatever it is, it's almost the same kind of points that we write. But before I tell you these points, definitely all the universities have their own rules, regulations, etc. Some universities may be asking you for a synopsis of around 4 pages. Some universities may be willing to receive a synopsis of around 10-15 pages. So it completely depends on your own university. If they have given you any guidelines or anything as such, do stick to that. If not, only in such a case, you can take reference from this video. So let's begin with the points that you need to write. First of all would be the front page where you will give details of your own self, your name, the course that you are pursuing or the course for which you are applying, your roll number, your guide if any, name of the university and all that outer details that we anyways provide in any kind of assignment. Right after that, what starts is maybe you can give content also, list of contents as well, where you specify what all things you have written in that synopsis. That is completely optional. Now in the contents, what you write? First of all, you need to give an introduction. You can introduce your topic. What is your topic or your area of research, right? In the proposal, what topic are you proposing? That you can give like a brief intro on that, maybe half a page or 1 page depending on how many pages of synopsis you need to submit. You can give a brief intro. That is the first point we have. After the introduction, you can come to research problem. Why this topic? What is the problem that you have found in this topic? And why are you focusing on this certain topic, right? Research problem, you are highlighting the problem area, that there is this certain problem. That's why maybe you are proposing to do a study on that topic, right? So after giving a brief intro of around half a page or 1 page, you can come to research problem. After research problem, the third point you can mention is research aims. What are the aims? Why this research you are conducting? What would you be focusing on? Is it that you are proposing some legislation on a certain area? Is it that you are proposing something? What is it? Right? What is the aim of this research that you can specify? Fourth thing that you can mention is research objectives. So you can mention the objectives point wise, that the objectives of this certain research is to do this, to do that, to do this. Now, if you are confused on how to write research objectives, you can take help of what all things are you going to write in the dissertation, term paper or your thesis. Like there would be different chapters, right? So with each chapter, you can try to frame some objectives. You can write around 4 or 5 objectives. Don't write like 10-12 objectives. That does not look good. So you can focus on writing 4 or 5 main objectives that you have in pursuing this research. So that is nothing but research objectives. After that, you can mention your hypotheses. While writing hypothesis, be very careful because hypothesis is having 2 different spellings for singular and plural form. If you are writing hypothesis like point-wise and there are 2-3 points, you need to use the spelling for plural hypothesis. Do not do this mistake because the interviewer will be very particular about it. They might highlight this point as well. But if you are writing only one hypothesis, you need to use the spelling for singular hypothesis, like singular form, if there is only one hypothesis. Again, for hypothesis also you can mention maybe 2-3 hypotheses and not like a lot of them. Next point is scope and limitation. Law is wide and we have limited time. Whether you talk about term paper or dissertation where you have hardly a semester, or even if you talk about thesis, you don't have your entire lifetime to cover everything. There may be different kind of limitations like financial, time-wise, a lot of different difficulties or limitations might be there. So in your synopsis or in your proposal, you may also specify what is the scope of your research, what all areas are you going to cover and what is the limitation, what is it that you are skipping, right? So that thing also you need to specify. Maybe you can say that, okay, I am looking into the problem of child labor in entire India, but more specifically to this certain district of so and so state, because there is definitely limitations, right? Financial limitations, there is time-wise limitation, and also it's not possible that you would travel to every single district and collect the information. So you are mainly focusing on one certain district of a state. That again you can specify in your scope and limitation. What is it to which what all things your research is going to include, what is its scope and what is the limitation that it is having. That also you can specify. Next thing that you can mention is literature review. Be very, very, very careful with your literature reviews because interviewers are going to throw you questions on that area itself. In fact, in one of my videos where I explained how I could have made my research proposal better, I did mention that I made the mistake of mentioning few books, like doing few literature review, because there was a limitation as to words, and that was the question which was put in front of me in the interview. So be very specific in your literature review. Try to give more and more literatures. You can watch that video also to get some idea on it. And also I'm planning to do like a detailed video on literature review as well. Next one is research questions. what are the questions that you are asking before starting the research? What are the questions you are having? Now you can say hypothesis and research question more or less look like same. In hypothesis, you are having some thoughts in your mind, you are having some statements. In case of research question, you are asking questions like you are asking whether free and compulsory education is helping in any way to reduce the rate of child labor or not. That would be a research question. But if you say that free and compulsory education is not doing anything in reducing the rate of child labor, that would be your hypothesis. So hypothesis is more like a statement that you are making, an assumption that you have. Research questions are some questions that you are putting, and by way of this entire research, you try to find answers for those questions. After research questions, you can mention your research methodology, the proposed research methodology. There are different modes of data collection, different modes of conducting a research. So what mode are you going to take? Are you going to refer only to the books, only to the legislations which are available in like printed form or in maybe soft copies, what is already available? Are you going to refer that? Or are you going to visit fields, interview people, collect information? What is the data? What is the method that you are going to apply in conducting the research? That also you can specify in your synopsis or in your research proposal. Next thing that you can mention is research design or tentative chapterization. When you are proposing that you want to do a research on this certain area, you would also have some ideas in your mind, right? That maybe I want to study this certain part, I want to study the national laws which are applicable in India relating to child labor. I also want to study what are the international regulations that are available. I want to study the judicial trend as well, right? So these are nothing but what is going to form different chapters. That also you can specify in your synopsis or research proposal that these are tentative chapterization. At this point in time, you have thought of these chapters. After that, you can simply put a conclusion. It's not as such mandatory, but yes, if you prefer, you can give a conclusion also. Because this entire research proposal or the synopsis that ideally forms your chapter 1 of your dissertation or term paper. Most of the universities I have seen, they would say that this intro and all these points which I have mentioned, right, that you will be writing in your synopsis or in your research proposal, you need to add that as your chapter 1. So it's better if you prefer, you can give a conclusion as well. And once you are done with all of these, you can put a bibliography as well, because whatever literatures you are going to review in literature review, those would be limited. But you are actually going to read more books, more articles, more journals than what you have reviewed. So all these you can mention in your bibliography so that when you are going for an interview, interviewer knows that okay fine, you have referred maybe 10-20 books, 15-20 articles, you have gone through some journals and all that stuff. So these are the things that usually most of the universities would mention. Like if you see any notifications which are issued by universities, these are the things more or less all the universities mention. So if you need to submit your synopsis or your research proposal and you are completely confused on what to write, what not, you can follow these points which I have mentioned. And if you want a detailed video on any of these points that I have mentioned, you can leave that in the comment section below. I will try to make a detailed video on that topic. So that's all for today. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, do share it with someone who is really struggling to write their synopsis or to write their research proposal. And with that, bye-bye for now.